What exactly is prepping? Hey everybody, this is Michael with Asymmetrical Preparedness. Is prepping stockpiling mass quantities of food? Is prepping gaining a lot of skills, like bushcraft skills, living out in the wilds, foraging? Is prepping having a bunch of tactical gear and defensive tools and running around like G.I. Joe? Is prepping growing your own food, raising your own animals, like homesteading? What is prepping? Preppers hoarders? Are preppers crazy? Or is preparedness just common sense, the way our ancestors did it? It takes many forms. It does. Some people start off in one area, one niche, and then they kind of tend to expand from there. Some people don't. Some people stay in that niche. Is prepping preparing for nuclear war? Or is it prepared for a big, that kind of stuff going on? I'd say it's all these things. But that it needs to be balanced. A lot of people go too far one direction or the other. A lot of people, I think I did, start prepping via the tactical side of things, get into preparedness. And then some people just stick to that and they have a lot of weaknesses and they're not well balanced. Or people, or people expand from there and they start incorporating different things into their preps and their preparedness. To me, the best way to go about preparedness, is a well-balanced approach. A generalized preparedness plan. Because a generalized preparedness plan gets you more well prepared for a variety of things that could happen versus a single focus. If you're laser focused, there's all this other stuff that could happen that you won't be ready for. Now, if you're a prepper, even if you're laser focused, you're still prepared for, a variety of things, because there's some things that just across the board you have to have. We have to eat, we have to drink, we have to have shelter, those kind of things. So that's the approach I take, is a balanced approach. I don't prepare for any specific thing. Although like the end goal, the big one that I prepare for is like total and utter collapse of society. Collapse of the dollar, our monetary system, the truck stop rolling. Gosh, I'm sorry today. Got a bunch of phlegm in my throat. Sorry, I apologize. That kind of stuff. Grocery stores stop getting food. You're not able to buy food. That's why I really advocate for the self-sustainability, self-sufficiency, self-reliance, those words, those self-words. Not selfish, but selfless. So that we can grow, we can produce food for those that need it. Our families, our friends, our neighbors, our tribe. And that's one very important aspect of preparedness. I feel it's probably the most important aspect of preparedness, which is tribe. Talk about tribe a lot here. Talk a lot about on Patreon. If you want to check out Patreon, links in the description below. I mean, come on, it's $1 a month. We got a lot of exclusive content there. Help support the channel and be part of Team AP. Links in the description below. But you don't have to do that. All my videos here on YouTube are still free. It's the main reason why I have Patreon is because of free speech. I can talk about what I want to talk about. I don't have to speak in parables. I don't have to talk about tools. I don't have to talk about seeds. I can say the real words, and I can go a lot more in depth on topics that are not conducive to this platform. So check us out there. But we do still talk about a lot of stuff here on YouTube. Very important stuff. Stuff that doesn't get all the views, but is no less more important. It's not all about fear. The sky is falling, World War III, this, that, politics, the stuff coming up here that people are starting to ramp up for in the United States, and talking about like who's running, who's not, and all that kind of stuff. I don't really hold much weight in that, because I feel they're all pretty much part of the same system. They're just heads of the different heads of the same dragon or something, Who is the real enemy out there? That's what a lot of people talk about on prepping, preparedness, this kind of stuff, these kind of channels. I feel the real enemy isn't quote unquote people that don't believe the same as I do politically. The real enemy is not people that have a different amount of melanin in their skin. It's just not. The real enemy is not people that believe differently about faith than I do. The real enemy is not people that are less fortunate than me or more fortunate than me. The real enemy, I feel, is them, they. We're not going to go into that really here on YouTube. That's why I talk about Patreon. But the real powers, the real power controllers, the puppet masters, those guys are the real enemy. Those are the ones that control and manipulate our currency all the time. Those are the ones that grow little things in labs and then accidentally let them, well, you know what I'm saying. Like I said, I'm talking parables here. So that's one of those things. It's like, how do we prepare against something that big, that powerful, that influential, that wealthy, and all that stuff? You've seen, all the indoctrination goes on, the public indoctrination system that our kids are in, learning every day. Well, my kids aren't, but, and that's one thing I advocate, is that you don't put your kids there either. Homeschool. Yeah. Homesteading. See these home words. Yeah. Home defense. Bugging in, bunkering in. That's all home-centric. Family. Tribe. These are the real important things. These are why we prepare. We prepare to take care of ourselves. Going back to tribe being essential. Essential, essential, essential. If things go down in any sort of way that's like large scale, you're going to have one basic thing. You're going to have security. That one simple thing you cannot do on your own. You have to have tribe. Because there's too many directions, and based on where you live or how you live or what kind of area you live in, high population density area, medium, light, almost no population dense area, there's different challenges for each one. And the more that you're in a population dense area, there's so many more challenges. Not to say that people in lower population dense areas don't have different challenges. I'll talk a lot about the security stuff on Patreon. Sorry to keep mentioning it. It's just, it is what it is. I do. I talk about vulnerability assessments on your property, how to go through and check out and look and identify weak spots in your security, how to shore them up, what to do about them, and how to identify them. But security is one of those things that I personally, no matter how good I am, no matter how much I train, how much gear I have, how many tools I have, how many LPOPs I have, situated around my property, fixed fighting positions, all that stuff, fences, alarm systems, all this stuff. No matter what I have in place, I cannot set security myself. Even if I have cameras everywhere, it still takes somebody to monitor the cameras and somebody to be out there patrolling around. Not to mention static posts. So I talk about that on Patreon. I'm not going to go more in depth on that because that's going into areas that, you know, like I said, you not really can talk about here. But tribe is one of the most important things. You got to have somebody getting your back. You know, that whole I got your six. You can't do it alone. Some people advocate that you can. There are very few people out there in this world today that can just head out in the mountains, in the woods, and with a backpack and survive long term. And even those people won't be able to do it long term, because even those people could be up in those mountains, fall down accidentally, slip off a log, fall on a rock, crack their head open, break their leg, then they're way out in the middle of nowhere with no help, and they just eventually die. So that's just not sustainable. I mean, accidents happen. We can't help it. Murphy's Law, what can go wrong will go wrong. The only thing we can do is prepare the best we can. Preppers are not crazy. We are not hoarders, because hoarders that's hoarding things that don't have a usefulness basically to them. That's the way I differentiate the two. Food storage, yes. Water storage, yes. Medical training, yes. Skills, yes. Tribe, yes. Lots of things, yes. Bug in plans, bug out plans. All these things, very important. Anyway, keep doing what you're doing. I love you guys. Have a wonderful day, and blessings to you and yours.